Hello everybody and welcome to a new player guide for Charlie Kane, otherwise known as the Vampire Hunter, otherwise known as Charlie Kane Vampire Hunter, otherwise known as Charlie Kane the Vampire Hunter, otherwise known as Charlie Kane the Hunter of Vampires. All of those things are accurate names for him. He was released in the Scarlet Keys box, which if you're not in like Canada, it's probably in your hands by now, but it's been delayed in Canada, so...
I mean, like... Yeah. If you're in continental United States, it's probably in your hands right now.
That's true. And also, like, some places in like, the... across the pond, too. But, I mean... we have things to talk about, which is Charlie Kane here. Yeah. This is a new player guide, which if you don't know, welcome to the channel. I am always this painful to listen to. But...
it never gets better.
It gets worse if you go far enough back.
It is, it's true, yeah. In this video, Travis has built a deck using the revised core set and the Scarlet Keys box. So just those cards. So this is designed for new players who might only pick up the revised core and then the Scarlet Keys box and thinking, what the heck should I do with Mr. Charlie Kane? Look no further than this video. If you have more cards than that, like more boxes than that, we're not going to be going into like cards from Dunwich and all that. Eventually, we're going to have a Charlie Kane expanded guide in the year 2026, in which case it'll be covered all of that then.
Yeah, it feels disingenuous to make those without like playing with them first, though.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah, we have to get a lot of experience. We can at least talk about like the basics of Charlie Kane.
Yeah.
And as well, this is also built without the taboo list. If you don't know what that taboo list is, it alters the cards, changes them up, balances some negatively, balances some positively, but also just provides some diversity for when you play. But because this is a new player guide, you should start without the taboo list, so we're not going to be talking about that beyond this point. And I don't need to talk about buying 2 core sets, because the revised set actually does that
I did initially make this with the original core set, and I remember there was a revised one. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah. Just probably look at those cards too.
So Charlie Kane has 1s across the boards. He soaks for 6 and 6 for damage and horror, and he has 3 additional ally slots. As a lightning bolt during a skill test, you are performing exhaust an ally asset you control. For this test, you get +1 skill value plus an additional +1 skill icon for each skill icon that ally asset has that matches this test's type. His Elder Sign effect is +3 ready and ally asset. Deck building is just a normal 30, and a deck creation you're going to choose 2 classes. And your deck building options are Ally 0 to 5, Neutral 0 to 5, and cards from your chosen class 0 to 2. Classes, thank you. In this deck, Travis, as you can see above, or to Bryn's left, we have Guardian and Rogue for the classes we chose here. Yep. We are going to be talking about all the other ones in this video, but we're going to be going into the biggest detail into the cards that are here for those 2 classes.
Yeah, I felt this was like the best, most straightforward deck you could probably make with just the Scarlet Keys and the revised core. So.
Yeah. Bonnie Walsh is a very good signature asset. It has 2 wild, which is like great because that's +3 on any test.
Gives you a real stat.
And then also, if after you exhaust her, you get a ready another ally asset you control, limit once per round. Very good ability. And then we have Burden of Leadership. If you control no ally assets, shuffle Burden of Leadership back into your deck. Otherwise, for each ally asset you control, either exhaust it or deal it 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror. You just exhaust them.
Play your cat.
Yeah. It's just like you just be like, okay, bye, right? Yeah. And by bye I mean not dead. I mean just like let them go to sleep for a turn.
Some resources this turn. Or
yeah, exactly. Take a turn off. Yeah.
So cat at them, stab them in the back with a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
tons of tricks.
Don't you have to exhaust the cat? Or is it just discard?
What? We'll find out when we get there.
Okay. That sounds fair.
Yeah. So, Travis, what was your kind of thought process for Charlie Kane and also this deck?
Well, I looked at the allies you had access to.
Great place to start.
Yeah, because those are what you can play, especially at level 0. This is an important place to be. Because, like, the higher level ones, it doesn't really matter because you just put them in your deck. Yeah, and then I was flipping through the spoilers. I saw a motivational speech. I'm like, yeah, we're going to play blue, especially with... We have access to solid allies there, and Beat Cop and Guard Dog that support the fighting archetype. So, you know, we're going to also... We have access to 2 solid level 0 weapons, a machete and runic axe. My first impression of that is I think it's pretty okay. It's acceptable. And I was kind of looking at, like, other options with the other allies we had access to supported. And, like, we had... exclusively Dr. Milan to support with investigating, so that felt pretty bad. Though, like, yellow did have good cards, as it always does. And then I looked at red, and we had Stray Cat.
Which did make the cut.
It did make the cut.
Yeah.
And then green was like Leo DeLuca, who doesn't really push us towards anything. And I felt it was better to lean into the fighting archetype than it was to kind of split yourself between the investigating and the fighting. And also, like, take away those cards from someone else in your play group if you only have the revised, or another investigator if you only have the revised core and Scarlet Keys.
No, that's the power play.
Give me all the good allies. You can play with nothing.
Yeah.
All of the allies are in my deck. I have also chosen yellow and blue. I'm taking all of the good fighting and investigating assets.
Yeah, so I felt like the motivational speech was pretty non-negotiable because allies cost a lot of money, and economy in the core set kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to play Forbidden Knowledge? You only have 6 sanity. And also you can't, like Leo doesn't, or I mean, Big Man on Campus.
Pete Sylvester.
Pete Sylvester doesn't come in the core set.
Yeah.
So that's kind of out the window. Yeah, we have Beat Cop for punch, and Guard Dog also gives punch, and Leo also gives punch, and Spray Cat gives you foot for those backstabs and sneak attacks. And this seems to be an effective setup, in my opinion, to hunt vampires with.
Yeah, we had to. That's also the reason why we chose combat too, because we're here to hunt vampires.
Yeah. And some flashlights, you can see the vampires.
It's true, yeah. And then actually, like, even like the upgraded flashlight is really good here. We're gonna be talking about all these cards in further detail once we get to the slides with them. But I just gotta like shout out the Bonnie Walsh art. I love Charlie Kane just in the background of this.
I like the flavor text.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Also, you bought me a wristwatch for my birthday.
Yeah. Bryn, anything you want to say about Charlie Kane before we move on? Thoughts on like how people should approach playing him and all that?
I mean, like, the cheapest allies are probably the best, because even if they don't match the skill icons, they still contribute 1, right?
Yeah.
So, like, even the cat, you can be like, get him!
Yeah.
+1 punch, please.
Yeah, and then you get to fight a 2, which is not very good, but...
Hey, Runic
You'll
Axe
have
and Machete both
something
give you
else.
+1.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're fighting at least 3.
Yeah, if you're fighting at 1, hopefully you're fighting a rat, and in that case, sicking a cat on it does actually kind of make sense.
Yeah. It also kind of works.
Should. You'd hope. Either that or the rats are very large.
I think also with Charlie Kane is that this is one of the investigators that we can say pretty confidently that he's going to be much better once you have a bigger card pool and you can tap into like a lot more allies and a lot more economy and a lot more stuff to it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I still think this deck is very playable, and like especially once you get to the upgrades, there's some really good stuff there. But he will get better with that. But at the same time, I think Charlie Kane is a very fun, flexible investigator. So let's talk about the cards that are in the deck. We have Flashlight. This is a great card because if there's a 2-shroud location, you can say, I would like a clue, please, unless I draw an autofail. So just don't draw the autofail and you'll be A-okay. If you're a new player and you don't know why that is, it's because when a test is reduced to 0, whatever modifier you get is going to end up reducing your skill to eventually 0. The autofail is the exception to this. So basically, if you see a 2-shroud location with Flashlight, that says, hey, I would like to grab a clue.
Yeah. At its core, it's because the game doesn't play in negative values, and the player always wins ties.
Yes.
Except when you're using lucky.
Yeah. A test never ends in a negative value.
Right. Like the game does employ negative values, but
not
only theoretically.
Yeah, not on resolution. Yeah. We have Machete, which is the damage asset that Travis chose for the weapon. Just get +1 fist, and it deals +1 damage if it's the only enemy engaged with you. Forced unto. Like attacking at 3 is probably going to be very doable. If Beat Cop is out, you can attack at. Sorry, let's do some Charlie Kane math. 1 + 1 is 2. +1 is 3. +2 5.
That's like a real number.
That's a real number.
Yeah.
That's actually a real number. If Beat Cop and Machete are out, you're attacking at 5 once a turn, baby.
I didn't realize he got 3 additional ally slots. I thought he just had 3 ally slots.
No, so he has 4. This guy has 4.
Is like so many friends.
Which is really cool because like obviously your goal then like is to get like if you have Guard Dog and Beat Cop out, you can get 5 fight with a machete twice a turn. Yeah. And those aren't unique either. So you can just like in a dream world get 2 Beat Cops and you're actually a pretty efficient like fighting machine. Just in the weird Charlie Kane way. Beat Cop we were just talking about, you can discard him to deal 1 damage to enemy at your location. I think Charlie Kane gets better use, obviously, than that one, and that's why the upgraded B Cop that we're going to talk about later is going to be very nice for Charlie. But still, just +1 fist is just really good, and then also the +2 fist with his ability. Then we got Guard Dog, who does a lot of soaking, also gives you a +1 fist, and also deals damage. It's a very good ally, and another nice tool in this vampire hunting kit.
And another one you can upgrade now.
Yes, yeah, another one you can upgrade, yeah. Yeah, Brian, why don't you take these ones, because I see 2 green cards.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we got Leo DeLuca. He just gives you an extra action
He's
during
an
your
ally.
turn. He's an ally. He's objectively one of the stronger allies in the core set.
Yeah.
Admittedly, taking an additional action might seem like a bad deal for 6 money because it's going to take you 7 actions to get the card and the 6 money back, but don't use your actions for that.
He can only be 3 money with a motivational speech.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you play him for 3 money with motivational speech, this guy's one of the best allies you've ever played.
Yeah.
Really play up that lion aspect to him. Get him out there. Doing stuff.
One thing I will say that I can see it happening to someone who's playing, like, if you have a Leo DeLuca in your opening hand and no other allies, like, just be aware, like, no other assets, just be aware that if you play this and you draw a card that makes you discard your assets, like a Crypt Chill, I think it's called.
It's a good way to lose.
It's a good way to lose the game. So yeah, make sure maybe don't lead with Leo, or if you're gonna play Leo, make sure you also have another asset to potentially defend it, because
With, some guts or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
potentially this Stray Cat that's
Yeah.
up next to you. It's just a 1-costed ally. He's got a foot icon, which is not entirely useless.
No, we actually use that
Yeah,
instead.
no, like with the next card. And you can discard him to automatically evade a non-elite enemy at your location. It's just a good panic button to have access to. You don't even have to exhaust him as part of the ability, so you can use him for the foot icon first.
Yeah.
So good.
And then throw him away
Yeah,
for the effect,
that seems good.
if
Or-
you need to.
Yeah, you can also use it if you draw his weakness to get rid of
Yeah.
the enemy if you still want to take that turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also play this guy as just like a 1-costed 1/2 of an unexpected courage every turn.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
This 1 cost takes up an ally slot.
Yeah, but ally slots are free.
Yeah.
No,
Turns
that's
out.
that's a good thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're just looking for garbage
Yeah.
and stuffing them for skill icons.
Well, we got backstab, which is the best way to kill a vampire is when he can't see you.
It's true. Yeah.
So yeah. This one's 3-costed. It's a fight. You use your foot instead of your punch. The attack deals +2 damage. 3 damage is important because most enemies that are non-elite that the game wants to be difficult for you to kill will have 3 hit points because most weapons deal +1 damage. So this can just one-shot most of those guys. Admittedly, the foot is a little harder to come by in this particular list than punch is, but that extra damage is very strong.
Yeah.
We've got an emergency cache. We're looking to play a bunch of allies, like the Louisiana Lion. It costs a ton of money.
Yeah.
And don't spend your actions gaining resources one by one unless you literally can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a much better way to do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, taking 2 turns to gain 6 resources to play Leo is a very good way to lose the game as well.
Yeah. It'll probably get you.
Yeah. Oh, Travis, you gonna talk about guns?
Ah, we're back, baby. So we have a sneak attack here I'll talk about first, which is another green testless, or a green Tesla source of damage. It's another green card, but it's a Tesla source of damage. Where you have, it's not untenable to do evasion tests with this build. We have the Stray Cat for foot. Your allies can give you some stuff to help out with it. We got the unexpected courages. And then you just get to do 2 damage.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, we have guts here, and unexpected courage also fills this a similar space in this build because we don't have any allies that give us brain symbols. Those don't really exist in the core set, turns out. But yeah, guts is good because most of the time the game attacks you in the Mythos phase with your brain stat because it has no inherent value to non-mystics during gameplay, unlike the book, fist, and foot stats, which all have an action associated with them. So you are going to be making brain tests in the Mythos phase, and not failing them is a good thing, and this helps you not fail them.
Yeah.
It also replaces itself, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And Unexpected Courage does that without the card draw, but also you can use it for other things too.
Yeah, like a backstab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have Vicious Blow here if we need that extra point of damage to just kind of push you over the edge on an enemy. Especially with you get like limited fight actions per turn in your with your machete and your runic axe because you have to exhaust your allies for them. This can be pretty important in some turns.
Hell yeah. All right, that is it for the core set cards. So let's talk about some Scarlet Keys cards. And this is our first time talking about a customizable card in an analytical video. So we're going to theory craft also what upgrades are probably going to be good for Charlie Kane here to give you some guidance as well.
Disclaimer, I didn't read any of the upgrades for this card. I just saw it was a level 0 weapon and it went in the deck.
Honestly, it's probably going to be good in this deck. So Runic Axe, 4 cost, takes up both hand slots. It's customizable, uses 4 charges, replenish one of these charges at the start of each round. As an action, you can fight. You get +1 fist for this attack. Before this attack, you may spend any number of charges to imbue the accuracy. That's the axe with that many different inscriptions. So the first one is accuracy. That's how that word got in there, because I read one line ahead, apparently. You get an additional +2 fist for this attack, and this attack deals +1 damage. So on its baseline, you can spend any number of charges. So you could spend 2 charges on an attack to get +2 fists and deal +1 damage. So that's like to get like...
You get +3 fists in total.
Yeah, you get +3 fists in total, yeah. So you also could just like treat this also kind of as a machete as well, right? Without the stipulation of having enemies engage with you. So let's look at the customizable cards. If you don't know how customizable cards work, you can upgrade them as if they were a card in your deck, because they are a card in your deck. Each box that you click will give you, it costs an experience, and then the level of the card is half the boxes clicked, divided and rounded down. So halved and then rounded up. Yeah. So if this one then, in a Charlie Kane deck, we can click 4 boxes on this, because you can only have Guardian level 0 to 2.
Yep.
So Heirloom gets -1 cost and gains the Relic trait. This could be good. That's like if you worry about your economy and you'd rather spend your stuff on other things, but it's not like that appealing. Inscription of Glory, it's you add the inscription: if this attack defeats an enemy, choose 1, draw 1 card, heal 1 damage, or heal 1 horror. Inscription of the Elders, it gains the Elders inscription. If this attack succeeds by any amount equal to or greater than your location's shroud, discover 1 clue your location. That probably ain't gonna work for Charlie.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah. Inscription of the Hunt, you can immediately move to a connecting location or engage an enemy at your location.
You okay?
No, Justin's just struggling with the concept of swinging the axe while the whippoorwill jumps into its path.
Well, no, you jump at it.
No. It's you're just swinging the axe around, and the whippoorwill
Immediately
happens
move.
to be there.
So does that mean I can take a fight before this action? So I can take a fight action without a legal target with this? Because they're not in my location?
No.
I don't know. I'm gonna go on to the next one.
I don't
recommend.
so,
I don't recommend Hunt anymore.
You have
Like, do you drag the enemy with you?
Before you make the attack, you may spend any number of charges to imbue it with the inscriptions. Immediately move to a connecting location. I think it's gonna be one of those things where it doesn't make sense, but they're gonna tell us that that's how it works.
Yeah, okay. That's
just garbage. But, you know.
Inscription of Fury is Fury. This attack is successful in addition to its standard damage. Deal 1 damage to each other enemy engaged with you. And then we got the big ones. Ancient Power. You may imbue the same inscription up to 3 times. Saga, replenish 2 charges instead of 1. And then Script Weaver, which would be the only thing you can upgrade. For every charge spent, you may imbue the axe with 2 different inscriptions. Honestly, for Charlie, if you took Script Weaver, it wouldn't be that bad, right? Because then you just get +3, +1 each time.
Yeah, I think you're gonna end up picking like either Script Weaver and then like Saga and Inscription of Glory probably, because you want to be taking damage on your allies to have them in play.
And then if you don't have a damage to heal or to heal, you just draw a card. Yeah, I think that seems pretty good. What are you thinking, Bryn?
I think you want to take Ancient Power, because you want to make as few different fight actions as possible in a turn.
Yeah.
In order to empower them with your allies more.
That's fair.
So this way you can fight and be like +3 damage, please, or plus however much damage you're allowed to.
That actually does seem pretty good, because then you can just do like imbue power 3 times, spend 3 charges, right?
Yeah.
And then just like make your allies big and you just like dome them. Yeah, I think that's also fair.
Yeah, and then just score like Either the heirloom, because we're already spending an infinite amount of money playing the game, so 1 less is solid, and the relic trait is not negligible. Or one of the other inscriptions, because you view that as being more effective for the campaign you're playing. Like possibly the one where you deal 1 damage to each other enemy engaged with you. If you are playing the Dream Eaters, this axe is going to be your best friend.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we've done it. We can move on to the non-customizable cards.
Though
So,
I think
you're looking at I see.
I was looking up rules for it. I don't not for this specifically, but it's like, so it says to fight, which implies there has to be an enemy at your location.
Yeah.
And then before this attack, you may spend any number of charges. So it's like, can you do a fight action if there's no enemies at your location? Is kind of the question. Like, Fang of Tirthra was the one that I thought about initially, because it lets you fight an enemy at a different location. And it tells you before, or you choose an enemy at any revealed location to target for this attack.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to have a... Like, can you... If you can fight while there's no enemies there, can I just use actions?
Yeah, I'm going to wager that there needs to be an enemy there. That's like what, to me, like for the rules makes sense. Because you can just immediately move, you just move with the enemy, right? Because then you can still get value. The enemy's just engaged with you. Right?
Right. Like if you're playing with evidence, or even the other inscription that allows you to discover clues if you succeed by enough.
We have Grievous Wound. This is a one cost tactic. After you successfully attack a non-elite enemy using a melee asset, which are the 2 assets that we attack with in our deck, you can attach Grievous Wound to the attacked enemy, and at the end of the round, deal 1 damage to the attached enemy. It just bleeds. But also, what this has, worst case, 2 fist symbols.
Yeah, that can be good.
Yeah.
This is like another nice card that kind of functions like a Vicious Blow.
Yeah.
Or like if something awful happens, there's going to be niche situations where you swing at an enemy, you attach the Grievous Wound, and then you draw a card that makes you throw away your weapon, and you can't fight him anymore, so you have to evade him instead, and he just dies to bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely attach Grievous Wound to a high health enemy and then throw a cat at them and just be like, hope you find your dad.
You're attacking Hank Samson?
Yeah, probably.
That's the
He's
new
got
one.
a lot of health.
That's the new one we're memeing on, right? Because now Charlie Kane's in the deck. It's going to be Hank Samson. Then we got Motivational Speech, which is like the juicy economy card. Parlay, choose an investigator location. That investigator may play an ally asset from their hand, reducing its cost by 3. So, B-Cop costs 1. Leo DeLuca costs 3. Guard Dog is now free. Stray Cat, don't use. Unless, you're going to get attack of opportunity and died, right? Then that's
actually a really neat thing about this is a parlay action, so you can use it if you're engaged with an enemy without getting smacked to get your Stray Cat into play, and then you're like, see ya.
Yeah, or the Guard Dog into play, so the Guard Dog can eat the attack.
Yeah.
Or even just B-Cop for the extra damage, extra punch.
Yeah, well, Grievous Wound is a card that you'll very likely upgrade out of. Motivational Speech will go from 0 to Scenario 8.
I like this card a lot.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good design.
Give us an upgraded Motivational Speech.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's an upgrade on Cage of Soul. There might be an upgraded Motivational Speech from the discard pile one day.
It's a pretty motivational speech, Justin.
Brian, why don't you take these core set experience cards? Because we are out of the deck.
Charisma is core set now, it turns out.
Yep.
Yeah, revised core.
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, so you see how we get 3 additional ally slots? What about 4 additional ally slots? How about that?
You have an additional card with your face on it.
Yes, that's the most important part, yeah.
Also, yes, this fat man in the center with a cigar is also Charlie Kane.
Like, it's actually almost the same picture.
Yeah.
Except one was more detailed.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people, theory crafting what Charlie Kane was going to do. I just love it's he's
actually that.
Yeah. He's that card.
Just stuff 3 of these into investigator card, and they're like, here you go.
Yeah. Anyway, having 3 extra allies is good. Having 4 extra allies is also good.
Yeah, it seems like overkill, but because all your allies have an additional use, which is making your stats not garbage, it's very beneficial.
Yeah, you don't actually want your allies to ever be taking enough damage to die if you get that choice.
Except maybe Guard Dog.
Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes Guard Dog dying is not a bad thing because you needed the damage out of it, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
And also because we hate dogs.
Well,
right, guys?
We got the upgraded B-Cop. He's second verse, same as the first. Only in this case he's a little bit louder and not really a little bit worse at all.
No.
So we got a foot icon on him, which is completely real for this deck because we might actually want to use that.
Yeah, holy shit.
And then secondly, instead of discarding him, we just exhaust him and deal 1 damage to him to deal 1 damage to an enemy at our location. So it allows you to just, arrest those pesky whippoorwills and rats and even acolytes.
Yeah.
But also allows you to fight something with the machete and then dump a 3rd point into it to kill a 3 hit point enemy, or fight it twice and point for a...
You can also do some spicy things with Bonnie Walsh, where you use Beat Cop to ding somebody, and then use Bonnie Walsh on a test, and then you ready Beat Cop and ding someone again.
Yeah.
It's going to kill some 5 health enemies potentially.
Yeah.
It's the truth. We got the Cat Burglar. So he's like the Stray Cat, but a man. This one has again 2 pretty real symbols, like brain. There are a lot of brain tests that if you are consistently failing, you will lose the scenario. And then foot, and he also gives you +1 foot, so you can use him for a +3 effectively to your foot for a test. And he's got an action that is actually very good. It turns out, where you exhaust him and disengage from each enemy engaged with you and just move to another location without provoking attacks of opportunity. With this deck, you probably don't want to be doing that, but it's very easy to get bogged down with enemies and have to try to figure out what the hell you're going to do about that.
Yeah, and then it also allows you to also take those moments where hey, I actually don't need to spend my resources killing this guy. I can just fuck off.
Non-hunter enemies, sometimes
I'm not supposed
you're
to
just
swear in the new player guides.
Really?
I try not to.
I was trying so far.
Yeah, I try not to.
Yeah. The downside of this guy is kind of a jerk. He burgles cats, and who does that?
Yeah.
Well, you do with these stray cats are not actually stray cats. If you they're too nice.
You just saying that they were stray.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just it was a stray cat. He belongs to me now.
This also with Cat Burglar, you also don't need to replace the stray cats with Cat Burglar because you just want allies. You can just run them both.
You could just take the flashlights and the vicious blows out of your deck for more allies.
Oh, 100%, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, the main downside to him actually is that he costs 4 to play.
Yeah.
It's a little tough.
Which is a lot of money, but you've chosen green. Hopefully you have another box at some point. And
yeah, you can start getting that green money.
You get that green money.
How come purple didn't get a plus brain investigator in the core box?
Because we hate purple.
Yeah, we do.
I thought we hated green.
We do.
I hate all of them. We got upgraded Leo DeLuca. The actual only difference here is that he costs 1 less money. But like with the Runic Axe, 1 less money is 1 less money.
Yeah, that could be
it's just a little less strain on your economy.
It could be an entire action's worth to you.
Yeah, with playing the upgraded one with the motivational speech is only 2. And 2 is normally what you have to pay to take 1 extra action.
Yeah.
Sort of.
No, it is normally kind of what you have to pay. And a card. Unless you're skids. But if you're skids, it doesn't matter because your action's going to be trash because you're skids.
Soak.
Yeah, these are good because you don't want your allies to take damage, so you need to take damage, but you can only take 5 before you die.
Yeah. And then also I'm going to just say it. Charlie's going to be so busy with allies, he doesn't give an F what's in his accessory slot most of the time. He's I'll just take... That's a trinket, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or his body slot.
Yeah.
It's also just there.
Yeah, so they give us a body slot that allows you to carry an extra ally in it.
Yeah.
Like a for your cat or whatever.
Oh, kangaroo suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's but it has to hold a 1 cost or less ally, so you have Mailson in there. He's hello,
that would be so immersion breaking, but so funny.
Yeah. Well, William T. Mailson is just a little, hello, I'm William T. Mailson, how's it going? We're going to introduce you to William T. Mailson later in this video, don't worry. He's relevant to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just more soak. Just don't die because your other soak actually isn't soak, as Travis said.
Yeah, especially since you can't just pass all your tests in the Mythos phase because your stats suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can use your allies for soak as long as you don't
kill them.
Yeah.
All right, we got some upgraded cards here. Travis, I'll leave those to you.
Okay. So we got Field Agent. This is Be Caught but Book and Clues.
Yeah.
Solid option if you want to kind of tech into that. It also commits for a foot, so you can get extra foot symbols out of it for your cards that care about that. This would be like a nice replacement for the flashlight in a lot of cases, I think, if you have the experience laying around. Though again, like 4 money is a lot. So
Yeah.
and then we have Girish. We have Girish. He is he's an ally that costs 4 experience. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But man, look at those stats he contributes. Brain and another thing.
wild.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So that means
That's
you get
3 brain. You have a real brain score.
Yeah, you have a real brain score with the Mythos phase, and then also just like +2 whenever you want it.
Yeah. And he can take damage for other people, but you're probably not going to do that because you don't want him to die. And then when a skill test has been performed, investigate your location, you can exhaust it. This is generally... You're going to do this instead
Yes.
of
Yeah.
exhausting him for his 2 wild symbols.
It's just actually straight up there.
Yeah.
It's just straight up.
Yeah, so you get the +2, which you would contribute for anything outside of brain, and then you get a heal or damage or horror from him. Yeah, that seems really good in Guardian Charlie.
Didn't read him at all. I was like 4 experienced ally.
Let's go.
I think this guy's just good in Charlie in general. Because
Yeah.
like normally the downside to this man is that he takes up an ally slot, but who cares?
I know. I always forget that he can run allies outside of his 2 colors.
right.
No,
Like,
it is just good in
it doesn't
Charlie.
matter
Yeah.
which colors you've picked.
Yeah.
This guy's probably one of the better choices to include in your deck.
Yeah, I actually like this card a lot.
He solves like all your problems.
Yeah.
You need a +3 to a test during the Mythos phase. Done. He's got you. You need to soak damage because you don't want your other allies to die. This guy's got 3 and 3 and he heals himself.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
And then you can also use Bonnie to ready him.
Yeah.
And, like, heal him
Like
twice.
there's so much cool stuff going on with this guy.
Yeah, that's very good.
It's a well-designed card for the set. We have our upgrade guard dog here with a significantly worse art. You wouldn't know that if you have the revised core set. You can force things to attack you, which is normally not something that you want, but then the guard dog bites him back. Your guard dog can not hit him back first, but like make him attack you.
Yeah.
So, and provoke him.
And what's also really nice too is that it now, when you upgrade into him, you don't need to spend actions to engage enemies off of your clue getters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Unless they
use
hit
your
really
brain.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel safe around the more aggressive dog.
Yeah.
Weird. We have our upgrade flashlight here. This is just an option if you want to keep the flashlight around. You have experience laying around. You know, it's a good card. Gives you an extra supply, and also brings a foot icon to the game. And when you perform a skill test while investigating or evading, you can spend a supply to give that test -2 difficulty.
Yeah, especially if you stay in like the sneak attack zone. I did not write down any freaking time codes.
It's okay.
If you stay with the evade side of the deck, you can take advantage of this, like with sneak attack and all that. Yeah.
Yep, it is also like a reaction, which is nice compared to the level 0 being an action, because other cards that you investigate, you can still get the -2 difficulty on.
TIL.
Or evade.
Yeah, today I did not. I was like, yeah, this is flashlight. It takes an action. No, now that seems actually kind of
It's pretty
sick.
sick.
Yeah. All right, I think we are done with the upgrade
This
cards.
deck,
Yeah,
yeah.
the deck. So now we're going to touch just briefly on each color. We're not going to go as deep into them. There are all the allies, because Travis said in his notes, talk about all the allies. So
Oh, yeah, they're the things you care about.
but I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie for a second and say I did not put in all the allies.
That's probably
I
fair.
I did not put in 2, which will.
I
not-
said all the allies, but I didn't think about it.
Yeah. So we've researched librarian. He gives you a foot. But also like what's important is this guy also just gets you a tome, but also gets +1 for a test when he's out there. The tome if you're playing the Seeker one, you're probably gonna do Old Book of Lore, especially with this limited collection, because it just gives you more cards, helps you find those allies in your
The one
economy.
you have.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Milan Christopher, he gives you money and also book. So as Travis said, this is kind of like your only option on like the clue getting side.
Like Leo gives you book, but he also is just... He's Leo.
Yeah.
He just kind of contributes to everything.
He's just good.
Yeah.
He's just the coolest guy you've ever met.
No,
Yes.
this guy's pretty cool. I like him a lot.
He's weird. He likes bugs.
He does
taking
like bugs.
He
Too
likes
much.
taking apart
Too much.
bugs.
He likes bugs too much.
He does like bugs. That's not a bug behind him, just so he's aware.
He calls it a nightmare, an abomination.
Yeah.
He's just excited because it's new.
He calls it a nightmare and an abomination.
Yeah, he's not a fan of the bugs. He's
No.
just excited because it's new and it means he still has a job.
Yeah. But also when you use Bonnie's ability, when you use Charlie's ability, not Bonnie's ability, you get 3 book, which is a good number.
A lot.
Deduction, more clue. If you're going to get clues, this is the card you want to help get
Yeah,
clues.
it's like Vicious Blow for clues.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have the 2 magnifying glasses. They give you more book, which is good. And then the upgraded one, while by no means a priority upgrade, just makes it cheaper.
And you can pick it up.
Yeah.
But
Into our Scarlet Keys yellow cards, we have the allies. We're going to talk about first. William T. Mailson. He gives you 2 brain, 2 book for the relevant tests. But also, what's most important is he allows you to just say no to an encounter card that would probably kill you because you're Charlie Kane.
Yeah.
he's actually a very solid flex investigator, I think. If you've like upgraded into the field agents or you've maintained your flashlights, you get a couple clues, and then you can use him to like make sure you don't get exploded by a brain test and draw an enemy instead.
Yeah.
Just you buy your William T. Mailson and he's like, all right, let's go do the job, and you're like, no, you sit with the cat.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, oh, okay, but I'm gonna need you to step in front of this knife for me one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
We have Bizarre Diagnosis, which gives you two book, but also you can place one of your clues on your location, then heal 3 damage from an investigator or ally asset at your location.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beat cop.
I mean, it seems kind of nuts with the upgraded guard dog,
Yep, that
where
too.
like you can soak 3 without dying, and then you can just be like full value though, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got Empirical Hypothesis with another customizable card. This card is like, before we even get into what the card does, this is just like good. It's going to draw you cards at the baseline. Whenever you fail a skill test by 2 or succeed a skill test by 3 or more, you can get more. You basically choose one of the following criteria for the round. It starts with fail by 2, succeed by 3, and when it's met, you exhaust it and then add 1 evidence to it. Some other things you can do is you can add Pessimistic Outlook, which adds you run out of cards in your hand. Trial and Error, you are dealt damage or horror. Independent Variable, which is you discard a treachery or enemy from play. Field Research, you enter a location with 3 or more shroud.
It's pretty easy.
And then we have Peer Review. The chosen criteria is met if any investigator at your location meets it, instead of only you. And other investigators may trigger the lightning bolt abilities on Empirical Hypothesis. And then we got Research Grant, which is now spend 2 to reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 3, which seems really nice for Mr. Charlie Kane. We got Irrefutable Proof. It gains spend 3 evidence, discover 1 clue your location, and then the 4-tick Alternative Hypothesis. After you exhaust it, you may resolve its forced effect, choosing a criteria you have not chosen this round, then ready it.
I think the ones that are really good here are the Research Grant and the Peer Review if you're going to play this card and you want to upgrade it as well. Peer Review makes it like, if you're hanging out with your teammates, especially at higher player counts, someone's probably going to be failing a test by 2 or more or succeeding by a test at 3 or more at some point in the round. And then Research Grant means that you can play your cards, which is always fun.
Yeah.
It's way more fun than not being able to.
Yeah, it's true.
You can take it from me.
Yeah, the tough part is you just have to like convince your teammates not to spend evidence to draw a card before you have 2 to play your cards.
Yeah, because they can just do it.
Yeah, you don't really get a say in it. I think that you get like priority first.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, also, like, you're trying to win as a group, and they'll probably understand that you'll just get better if you can play your cards. No? They won't?
No, they'll be like, you already have 3 allies in play. I only have 1. Why would you need a 4th one?
I just like
Give me
the
that
idea
card.
of Travis playing this with the pessimistic outlook, and he's just like, no cards in my hand. oh, I can just draw 1.
Oh, thank God.
That is very funny.
It's weird, like, I'm playing a hand size deck, and I've got this in my deck, pessimistic outlook, just as like a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Just make me feel good.
I also always point this out for the art. I haven't done it yet. I don't think I've done it in a while, but the tentacles on the skull are made out of bone, which is particularly funny.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. On to the Mystics from the core sets. We have Arcane Initiate. If you're going to be playing Spell Charlie, you could do this, but also just comes in with also gives you a brain boost if you want some protection in the Mythos phase as well.
Yeah, I don't think this is I think Mystic is a little bit weak for Charlie in general with the core set and the Scarlet Keys expansion in particular because the, like, as we'll see on the Scarlet Keys slide, the items that you can play, they let you use your other stats, which the core set is very much or more focused on the brain side of things.
Yes.
And then also you can't upgrade them.
Yeah. We have Drawn to the Flame. draw the top card on the counter deck, get 2 clues, and then Ward of Protection, cancel the card you just drew from Drawn to the Flame.
Those 2 cards are like very worth playing in your deck, though.
Yeah, I do think that like I think Charlie can work in any color combination. Like he has the tools with a full collection. Mystic's the one that's definitely I think the odd one out, but it's still this very possible, but just not with this collection that we're looking at here.
Yeah. I mean, outside of this, like with a full collection, I think there's a lot of neat stuff you can play in Mystic.
Oh yeah. From Scarlet Keys, we have String of Curses, which allows you to automatically evade and place a Doom on an enemy. It cannot take damage for the remainder of the round, then discover clue location, or if an enemy has 1 or more Doom on it, defeat it and gain 1 resource for each Doom that was on it. Money.
I just like the idea of playing this card in Charlie, so then you can, like go up to the Wizard of the Order and be like, Carl Sanford is in my Rolodex.
That is good.
Like,
he's like, oh, sorry.
very sorry, Mr. Kane.
Yeah, I'll go. Bye. Please, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Don't tell Carl.
Pull your cell phone and call Carl and be like, can you tell this guy to screw off?
Yeah. I think Carl Sanford's like, what are you calling me on? What is this strange mystical device?
It's a mystic thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a magic phone.
You think that Carl Sanford doesn't have ways to talk over distance?
Oh, yeah, no.
magic?
Yeah,
it is
Charlie doesn't.
Yeah, it's open gate.
Yeah, mini open gate.
Yeah. You just, hey, how's it going? We have Explosive Ward. It's an X cost event. Before you play Explosive Ward, you may discard any number of cards from your arcane slots. Deal X damage to non enemy engaged with you. X cannot be greater than the number of empty arcane slots you have. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Okay.
You pay 2 to do 2 damage to an enemy engaged with you.
Seems good. Also, 2 fist.
Yep.
Yeah. If you don't want to do like the sneak attack or backstab, this could like be these ones.
That is the big thing that purple brings is like not doing tests.
Yeah. And it also is kind of beneficial if you do want to tap into Charlie Mystic for what you just have with this limited collection, that a big part of it is also like not using spell slots.
Yep. Yeah. No, that is a nice thing there. I do think the purple cards, like you can definitely build a Mystic Charlie Kane deck with the Corset and the Scarlet Keys. It's going to be a smaller part of your deck and you miss out on some of the allies.
Yeah. Hallowed Chalice, it heals. You can place a Doom on it to heal 2 damage or horror from Investigator, which is going to be nice because, as we said, your allies aren't there to soak for you. And then you can also heal a damage or horror from that Investigator. If you heal the last damage or horror, you remove a Doom from Hallowed Chalice.
Yeah, you're just sitting there removing all the Doom from your Hallowed Chalice, or your teammate who's playing Calvin Wright is like, what are you doing?
And this one is like a little bit of a stand-in for the other hand assets as well. You can definitely play the purple ally that like eats Doom, if you want to. But like that's always this is intended to be a guide for newer players, and Doom archetype is usually a little bit scary for new players.
Yeah, that's El Rubash, and I didn't include her for exactly that reason. She's more for an archetype guide than what we got here, which will be coming back.
Aquina made it.
Yeah, actually, so yeah, that's the thing. I love it because when we were talking about the Survivor allies, I was waiting for and then we can talk about Aquina, the forgotten daughter, because Travis didn't even mention it. I
usually forget about her.
Yeah.
I pay him 5 for this. I can pay 5 for upgrade Leo.
So yeah, she's very expensive, but she also can give you brain and horror soak that actually can be horror soak.
Yeah, that is a nice niche.
Yeah. If you're going hard on like the foot focused Charlie, the upgraded Aquina also gives you that, and then also allows you to use enemies' damage against them. I don't think Aquina is great, but she's here because she's an ally from this selection. But
yeah, I think she's definitely playable.
Yeah, she has some plus sides. Rabbitfoot, after you fail a skill test, exhausted to draw a card. Hey, guess what you're probably going to do? Fail skill tests. Do you know what's nice doing with that? Drawing a card.
Why are you going to fail skill tests, Justin?
Well, because you have 1s in your stats,
Okay.
And eventually you'll be like, my allies are, I'm in the Mythos phase, I have no brain ally.
This is also a great item to just throw away to Crypt Show.
Yes. Yeah. Look what I found is really nice for Charlie, because you're probably going to fail skill tests by 2 or less, and just discover 2 clues. It's a very nice card.
Yeah, look what I found in combination with the flashlight. Also allows you to steal clues that you have no business taking from Four Shroud locations.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
If I was looking at making a clue-centric Charlie, it would probably be yellow-red.
Yes.
Daryl Simmons is just like, what you doing over there?
Then we got Lucky and the upgraded Lucky. Lucky, when you fail skill test, you get +2. This is where the weird negative modifiers actually matter, because the modifier is not 0 when you are drawing your token. It's strange, but lucky happens at a different time. Just don't worry about it. Just only use lucky when you're actually going to fail by 2. It doesn't work like how we did with the other ones. Or 1, yeah. And the upgraded version draws a card after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't play it if you would fail by 0 because it won't change.
No. You could fail by... There's ways to fail by 0. You might be asking a new player, is Bryn making joke? No, you could fail by 0 in this game.
It's mostly pertaining to the red token because then it doesn't matter what happens. You still fail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we have 2... So there's a lot of dilemmas. You can run them in this.
They just like do things.
There's nothing to really talk about them in particular here. But Pocket Multi-Tool, it takes up your hand slot, costs 3. During a skill test you're performing, you get +1 skill value for this test. That's an ally, baby.
Yeah.
Hawkeye folding camera.
Yeah.
This is like an ally you can have in your hands.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It has detachable. Other investigators at your location may use it. Pry bar, you get +1 skill value if it's during a skill test or on a treachery. Sharpened knife, you get an additional +1 during an attack. +1 during an invasion with signal mirror. Magnifying lens is +1 during an investigate. Lucky charm is after you fail skill test, ready it. And then spring loaded, it's now a reaction. When you would fail skill test you're performing, exhaust it to, get +1. So it's like half a lucky.
Yeah, but like how many of them? Could be lots.
Could be.
Could be lots.
Yeah.
Like 1 every turn because you can't upgrade it past that.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, if you're gonna... this one's a little bit strange. Like, I think, because, like, the pry bar being 1 and everything else being 2, like, because pry bar is nice, because it can give you a +2 on a treachery, right?
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy to have, like, pry bar and then, like, probably magnifying lens.
Yeah.
Because you can play magnifying glass. This is a card.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're, like, you could go pry bar, detachable, and then, like, get the thing you're going to be doing the most of from the other 2 options.
Yeah, just, like, slap detachable on if you have, like, you don't have to spend 4 experience.
You don't have to, no. You can stop at 3.
Yeah. I do think that pry bar is the one you want, and then, like, probably sharpened knife or magnifying glass, depending on what you're doing.
Yep.
And then just, like detachable if you have experience hanging around later, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can also take the pry bar and like the lucky charm, which is probably solid if you're playing with the rabbit's foot as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Because then you're just kind of like, oh no, I failed
Turn a
the
fail
test
into 2 cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, you just turn to 1 card. You just ready it. Yeah.
It is also like the lucky charm is also nice with like, for example, look what I found where you can push yourself into that range.
And I mean also like even like lucky charm, if you just like I'm gonna investigate. I failed. I'm going to investigate, get the bonus again, right? It's not limit.
Yeah, I think Lucky Charm is good, but you got to have a reason to be playing it.
Yeah. We got Gumption here, which is just a good card. You can make any type of skill tests. You get -2 difficulty. Hey, you know that Rotting Remains? What if it only dealt 1 horror, right? Like, there's a lot of versatility that you can do with Gumption.
Yeah, it's like unexpected. On the surface, it's just unexpected courage, but it's actually much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like this card a lot.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's even max 1 command per test, which is pretty fair. Yeah. Oh, that'd be something special.
Yeah. Wow, that's Charlie.
Yeah, that was a bigger one. There was lots to talk about for him.
Yes, yeah.
No, those other colored cards weren't like an exhaustive list of what you could play in Charlie. They're just there to give you some ideas because it felt kind of weird to
not talk about it.
Not talk about other cards.
Yeah.
That you could play.
Yeah. And then even then, like these guides are focused on just like, getting you as a new player, looking at your collection and being like, here's a Charlie deck that I don't need to think about, and then I can just have some experience playing with Charlie. And then the best way to learn and get better at deck building is by,
watching our videos,
liking and subscribing, and joining our page,
and commenting.
Yeah, you gotta comment. That's the best way to get better at Arkham. Commenting on our videos.
Justin.
But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back very soon to talk about more of these new player guides for the investigators in Scarlet Keys, and we're very excited to get our hands on the cards and start playing with them ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.